All right, I think yan, we're live. Good evening, everyone. Yan, so Jonathan Tinoco here and welcome to all of you. Sige, so para doon sa mga kasama natin, sa mga viewers natin ngayong gabi, tsaka sa mga papasok pa lang, so first of all, welcome din. And of course, I'm sure nakita niyo yung ating session or yung announcement, even the title of our session ngayong gabi. And I'm sure marami kayo matututunan ngayong gabi. All right, but before I introduce my friend, my partners, and of course, our guest speaker for tonight. Okay, para dun sa mga nanonood, comment muna kayo sa comment section natin. Type nyo naman taga saan kayo. But aside from that, share the video out there. Share natin sa community ninyo. Share nyo sa inyong mga friends para marami din sila matutunan ngayong gabi. Alright? So, I'll do the same thing din. Kasi nasa page pa lang siya. Yan. So I can see a lot of people now are joining in. So once again, feel free to share the video out there to your friends, your community para syempre maximize natin yung opportunity. Okay, ngayong gabi na matuto tayo okay, during the session. All right. Okay, James, sige. So I think let's start by introducing sino ba yung mga kasama natin ngayong gabi.
Yes, Coach. Good evening, everyone. Magandang gabi. And again, welcome to our weekly segment. My name is James. I'm part of the Resistance Trader and the community manager of the Resistance Trader community. Ako yung magiging host for tonight. And we have here, of course, our special guest who will be speaking about their exchange, si PDAX, Coach Jonathan. And also we have here our peer, si Sir Fermin Barnechea. He's been in the industry, the financial industry for 18 years now. And he has been in the banking sector also and now cryptocurrency. So without further ado, I would like to welcome all of you and I would like to call on our special guest for tonight, si Mr. Nishal Gaba, the President and CEO of PDAX. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Jonathan. Maraming salamat sa pag-invite and I'm very happy to be here para i-introduce ang PDAX sa audience.
All right. So before we proceed with some of the questions that we prepared for tonight, sir, can you actually introduce us to what PDAX is? Because some of our audience from the community might be new to who PDAX is or what you do. Sige po.
Sure. So PDAX, isa siya sa mga licensed na exchanges to operate here sa Pilipinas, no. So basically marketplace po tayo where people can buy and sell cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, etc. Being a licensed exchange, yung pagbayad at pagbili gamit po natin dito Philippine pesos. So I guess I would share then how PDAX first started. Okay. Nag-start siya or at least naisip ko siyang simulan nung 2017. So nung mga 2016, 2017, doon ako nag-start mag-trade ng crypto. So I started buying Bitcoin. And then I noticed na viable instrument siya, okay talaga siyang i-trade. Pero there weren't a lot of places where you can buy Bitcoin ng mura or ng maninipis yung spread, and that you're protected. And naisip ko at the time, parang actually if ganito kahirap bumili ng Bitcoin, hindi siya lalaki because institutions, kunwari like banks, ganyan, insurance companies, never sila makakapasok into crypto. And if gusto nating lumaki in crypto, we have to build a service that the BSP can regulate and recognize. So that's how it first started. No? So in 2017, umalis na ako ng banking industry, gaya ni Fermin. And then I went and started PDAX. So today, we are a 50-person team, and we currently have about 200,000 plus users, and we're also we also have a mobile app that you can use, no, for especially for those who are still starting out. So yeah, that's PDAX, and obviously I'm also here to answer some of the concerns that your community might have about PDAX.
Sige. Thank you very much for that introduction, Niche. I just would like to to also ask, no, since you mentioned you have 200,000 no, na mga users in your platform. Mostly ang traffic natin for PDAX is in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So almost all are from the Philippines.
Okay. That's nice to know. 200,000 is a good number, by the way. Kamusta naman yung, well, are you in privy to share? Kamusta naman yung trading volume ng 200,000 in your platform right now?
Right. So it's a great question. No? So syempre marami dun sa 200,000 are hodlers or bumili sila once and then that's it. Siguro yung mga mas active na nagte-trade, I would say nasa mga naglalaro sa mga 10%. Ganyan.
So mga around 20,000 users from the 200,000.
Yung
These
talagang
are,
active.
yeah.
Yeah, yung talagang active na nagte-trade.
Fair enough. Oh, fair enough. So, the next question that I will ask about PDAX pa rin is, of course, having said that na you're maintaining 200,000 users, 10% are actively using it, that's technically your monthly active users normal, yung how the traffic is pagdating sa volume. There's the reason why I'm asking this, just so you know. I wanted to know yung trading volume ninyo to check. Of course, number one, liquidity din ng PDAX. Kwento mo na lang din siguro if if you can more about it.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of trading volume, obviously over the past few months nag-grow na siya. So right now we're seeing a lot. Siguro on a given day we could see about a few $1 million worth of trading. Pero it fluctuates James. Like there are some days I'm sure you know because you're a trader, may mga days na maraming balita about crypto, mas active ang market. So it's still very volatile. Pero in terms of syempre liquidity, which users are probably very concerned about, like parang gaano ba kalaki si PDAX to handle such volumes. We also have very strong investors in the cryptocurrency space. So kagaya ni na BitMEX, Consensus, etc.
So, ibig sabihin, just for our viewers' knowledge, no, BitMEX is also part of in terms of investment for PDAX.
Yeah, so ano sila? Isa sila sa mga shareholders ni PDAX who provided yung capital to start and operate PDAX.
Nice. Sige. So, yan. Having said that, I would like to understand yung what recently happened with PDAX since there was this issue, mainit na mainit ngayon that we're hearing about. For the purpose of discussion, can you share more about this issue? Well, we've heard that there are some people who have parang they bought into the platform at an X amount and it's not the market value and then nagko-complain. So let's hear it from you. What happened with this particular people who bought into your platform?
Yeah, sure. No? I think unang-una I want to say na yung nangyari was very inconvenient for everybody, especially yung mga nakapag-trade at the time. Pero to clarify, ang nangyari kasi was because super active ng market and we've not had yung ganitong extreme level ng activity. Merong isang component sa exchange that suffered a glitch. Yung exchange yung glitch na yon, it allowed an order to be placed kahit wala siyang kabanggang funding or crypto. And I think since marami rin nagtitrade dito, yung notice na sa exchange, bago ka makabili, kailangan ipasok mo yung cash. Or bago ka magbenta, kailangan nandun na yung crypto sa exchange. So ang nangyari, because this order was quite big, right? Nakain niya yung liquidity. Okay? Nakain niya yung buong order book. And syempre, yung sa pinakamura dun sa order book, naka-place doon sometimes 300,000 pesos, etc. So, maraming natama ang prices. Now, I think yung pinaka-important to keep in mind here, bakit naging complicated yung sitwasyon, kasi yung nakabili nung ano na yun, mga non-existent na orders na yun, they enter it in other markets, and then we convert to other cryptocurrency. So medyo gumulo. If you don't mind, I can illustrate a simple example using last year's call. Let's say si James may 10 BTC ka. Tapos si Jonathan merong 1 million pesos. Si Fermin merong 5,000 pesos. Okay? And then let's say si Fermin, nag-place siya ng order to sell 15 BTC. Pero wala siyang 15 BTC. Ang nangyari was, kunwari nabili ni Jonathan, no? Nabayaran niya si Fermin ng 1 million pesos, na-receive niya yung, tapos na-receive niya yung 15 BTC ni Fermin. And then si Jonathan goes and sells naman kay James yung 15 BTC na yun. And then si James, nabili niya, and then nabenta niya, tapos nakabili siya ng Litecoin. At the end of the day, kapag sinuma total mo lahat, yung punto rito is that si Fermin never had 15 BTC. In which case, never siya nagkaroon ng 15 BTC in the first place. So dapat, never niya na-receive yung 1 million pesos from Jonathan. Right? Kasi never siyang nakapagpasok. Kaya lang, because ang daming trades na naganap, in order for Fermin to not have the 1 million pesos, lahat ng mga trades na yon are invalid or void because either wala yung crypto or yung cash was proceed from an invalid na sale. So, I wish I could explain it ng mas simple, or I wish na hindi ganito ka laki yung naging effect. Pero nandito na po tayo, and ang ginawa lang talaga po namin is to make sure na we can stop yung effect nitong order na ito from spreading to the other users.
I have a question, if I may ask, Nichelle. So you mentioned to stop this from spreading to other users. Approximately, if you're at liberty to reveal, approximately how many were impacted? Because syempre, it wouldn't have impacted everybody because not everybody traded naman eh.
Yes, that's right. So nung nag-outage kami, that's what we did. No, we investigated each account to see who potentially was affected by it. No, a total of 2,800 accounts.
Traded naman eh.
Yes, that's right. So nung nag-outage, 2,800, and some of them actually were users who had orders placed lang sa order book pero nabentahan sila ng Bitcoin na undelivered.
Okay, so 2,800, that's a very small percentage of your total user base.
That's correct. Pero I understand also why a lot of people remain upset kasi yung 2,800 na yon, probably they were also the ones who are most active na mag-trade. That's why naapektuhan talaga sila at the time.
So in terms of, let's say, the system maintenance, is it already completed?
Yes. So as of today, ano na po tayo, or actually as of last week, we already reopened the exchange. We scaled up everything, especially yung controls on the exchange to make sure na never na po ito mauulit. There are still a number of accounts na we're still reconciling. Pero for these accounts, we're already talking to the users, the affected users directly.
Mm. Okay. Thank you, Mitch, for sharing that. But I would like to clarify more on the previously mentioned about sa trade kasi the way I understand it, there are the sellers and the buyers inside PDAX, right? But since this is not decentral and not peer-to-peer, for example, yung ginamit mong analogy or example is for men selling 15 BTC. Let's go back to that. And then he doesn't really have BTC in the first place. I just would like to understand, no, just to the reason why I'm asking this question is if Fermin doesn't have that 15 BTC and then Jonathan na-credit sa wallet niya yung BTC because he bought from PDAX. Sabi natin, di ba? Even if he doesn't have really the 15 BTC, but in-execute yung order ni PDAX, so nagbigay ka ng Bitcoin kay Jonathan, that Bitcoin was transferred, for example, sa akin, and then I transferred it outside by LTC or even for example, tinransfer ko sa cold wallet. So there was the BTC. That BTC came not really from Fermin, but that BTC came from PDAX. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, that's correct. And I guess one thing na I wanna clarify, so tama yung description mo, no? I think one of the things that people always ask now, nakuha ko eh. So akin na 'yon, right? Which yung sentiment na 'yun, naiintindihan ko 'yon. Kaya lang kasi yung legal arrangement between PDAX, the users, the buyers and the sellers sa platform is that si PDAX is a marketplace. So, ahente kami that matches buyers and sellers. And ang job namin is to make sure na if walang naibenta in the first place, then yung buyer should get his or her money back. Now, another question I get asked is, okay, if wala namang nabenta, bakit kaya kong ilabas, right?
Yeah.
And I guess this goes into how yung ang isang centralized exchange na go-operate, no? PDAX is a centralized exchange and yung wallet infrastructure namin does have pre-funding, meaning kapag ka nag-instruct ka ng withdrawal, inaabunuhan ni PDAX yung pag-withdraw. Ngayon, because yung original sell order, malaki siya, right? I'm not gonna talk about exactly how much it was, pero malaki siyang amount. To the point na even if all the users withdraw, wala rin sila makukuha because walang ganong pre-funding si PDAX.
So basically what happened was someone sold something pero out of thin air, wala naman talagang Bitcoin, then you guys seeing that order, executed that na inaabonohan ninyo coming from your own wallets, dispensing it to those who are potential buyers sa kabilang end. Is that the correct thing to say, Nichelle?
Yeah,
That's what happened.
that's
Okay.
correct.
So ibig sabihin, you have your liquidity pool drained because of that particular order. Tama ba?
Yeah,
Na-drain yung
so
liquidity pool mo.
hindi talaga siya liquidity pool, no? Pero it is a uh, siguro the best way to describe it, even if hindi siya perfect na term, is it's a hot wallet basically. So wallet siya na ginagamit ni PDAX to facilitate withdrawals from clients.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These are parang out of pocket ni PDAX yan. Para alam din ng mga listeners natin how you did it and they will understand why
Yeah,
are you
right.
trying to get back on those people who actually got the Bitcoin for that lower price.
That's correct.
So that's your premise. The premise of PDAX, just to reiterate, was inabunuhan niya based from their wallet. May sariling wallet no, na nag-execute si PDAX. Meron siyang Bitcoin doon, PDAX Bitcoin. And then when the other guy sold, pinasa niya doon sa kabilang end yung Bitcoin who were buying, but your liquidity or your wallet was never filled in by
Correct.
that guy who actually sold the Bitcoin. Now, sabi mo it's because of the system glitch. Siguro very very ano no, parang um, siguro split second or seconds lang na difference between the execution and then wala talaga. Hindi ito na identify kaagad ng system ni PDAX, less short of saying that empty yung wallet. Hindi mo nakita kasi 'di ba kita mo naman sa blockchain yan as cryptocurrency traders, we know for the fact that you can see in the Block Explorer pag may papasok sa'yo. Dapat kita mo yan na may papasok sa'yo so that pwedeng nabawi mo right away. Kung meron ka mang na-release na, I know pag na-release mo na, hindi mo na mababawi sa blockchain yan eh. So ibig sabihin, hindi nakita kaagad ni PDAX yung incoming ng na pera to your wallet coming from that guy who did the selling. That correct?
Uh, partially. I can explain how it works, no. So
Sige.
yung trading platform ni PDAX, wala siya sa blockchain. So it's completely centralized. Now, ano yung naka-connect sa blockchain, or at least ano yung tumitingin sa blockchain? Anytime na may nag-transfer ng crypto papasok kay PDAX, si PDAX refers to the blockchain and then credits that user. So let's say, James, nagpasok ka ng 10 Bitcoin, we record na you have 10 Bitcoin. Doon sa example natin kanina, yung 15 BTC kunwari na ibenta ni Fermin, ang nag-fail po doon is not the system that checks the wallet for yung pag-deposit. Rather, ang nag-fail doon is yung pag-compute ng how much the order needs to be fully funded. So, kumbaga, nung naglagay si Fermin ng order, because of some rare scenario na wherein nag-fail yung control, nung kinompute niya, how much yung kailangan na pre-funding ni Fermin? Error. And then, nakapasok yung order. So you're right. Actually, pag blockchain payments are final, right? Blockchain payments, hindi mo yan mare-reverse. Which is why yung control na yon, making sure na lahat is pre-funded in the first place, that was actually very important. And this is what made this incident so, I guess, so big, no? As a scaling issue for us.
Okay. Sige, thank you for that clarification. Permin and Coach Jonathan, baka may question
Sure.
kayo.
Hindi. James, let me just acknowledge muna yung mga kasama natin ngayong gabi sa session because I believe
Yan.
we have already viewers from different parts of the world, particularly yung mga kasama natin from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, yan, mga kababayan natin, and mga kababayan din natin na mga OFW. So once again, welcome to all of you. Acknowledge ko lang sila sa comment section muna, yan. Si
Sige, Coach.
Angelo Francisco, yan. Si June Ibanez from Marikina, Melay Martinez from Cavite, si Carlos Macam, Joseph, Tinoco, Suri La Bonita, yan. Good evening sa inyo lahat. Rodel Mariano, Marina Olivete, kay Robert Bautista, yan. Si Ferly Limcaco from Tagaytay, si Vicente rin from Tagaytay. So si Macy Valmex, Lucas Pros Reps, yan. Magandang gabi from Bacoor, Cavite. So once again, welcome sa inyo lahat. So continue, sharing this video. And mamaya, meron tayong mga giveaways, no? During the
Sige.
session.
Yeah.
Right? Exciting, right? So mamimigay tayo ng cash prizes ba or Bitcoin mamaya. So, ayan. So the mechanics are very simple. Simply, share this video, like this video, and mamaya, comment nyo yung inyong mga questions. Kasi mamimili tayo ng first 5 winners or kumbaga first 5 yung mananalo. Okay? Doon tayo kukuha ng mga winners natin. So, pero pag meron kayong mga gusto ring itanong, by the way, feel free to comment or to put that in the comment section. But make sure lang na, let's make things polite. Kasi I'm sure marami sa mga viewers natin din yung maybe some of you, di ba, na you're part of those people na experience nyo yung recent issue. But again, we want to make things clear. The reason why we have this session is purely to make things clear to everyone. That's at the same time sort of education na rin. Because eventually, if the same thing happened, hindi lang, through PDAX, maybe in the future, some platform. So at least, alam natin kung ano yung gagawin natin. Alright? So once again, feel free to comment, post your comment section, post your questions sa comment section natin, okay, sa baba yan. And mamaya sasagutin natin yung isa-isa. And yung first five natin, okay, sila yung mananalo ng 3,000 peso worth of Bitcoins. Right, Nichelle?
Wow. Very generous from PDAX.
And
Thank you,
yeah,
PDAX.
sure. And that is sponsored by PDAX, by the way.
Thank
Alright,
you.
sige, James, sure, go ahead.
Sige. Yun. So, at least clarified na tayo on the part na na how it happened. So, ngayon naintindihan na ng mga viewers and yung mga naka-tune in sa atin ano yung nangyari, bakit may mga nagrereklamo kay PDAX. But my next question, this one is a curious question that I would like to ask kay Nichelle. Nichelle, alam ko sabi mo sobrang laki nung order kaya parang nasa id yung yung liquidity mo with that particular sell order. It's like sinort niya yung Bitcoin on your platform tapos na forward mo yung order to your buyers. And then yung hindi ko natatanungin gaano kalaki. Pero ang next question ko since sabi mo nga malaki, sabi kasi dun sa sa platform nyo when I'm checking it out, there is this insurance that you are giving out to your subscribers, to your users. Ngayon, hindi ko lang na hindi ko na dig deeper. How large is the insurance? Saan kayo naka-insure? Ano yung part ng I think you have insurance but you said in the previous interview sa'yo, hindi ito kasali. Hindi siya kasali sa insurance ninyo. So, I would like to understand bakit. Why is it not part of the insurance? Kasi 'di ba, sabi nga natin, if your liquidity cannot hold it, you have some sort of parang buffer like an insurance to help you na ayusin yung mga ganitong challenges.
Right. Sige, magandang tanong 'yan. So yung insurance so first of all, yung insurance policy dun sa na tinutukoy namin is for the wallet infrastructure against irregularities. Okay? So kasama na diyan yung pag-hack, etc. So itong particular incident na po nito, hindi siya covered nung protection na yun. And I think a big part of why wala pang insurance for a lot of the exchanges is kasi bago lang din tong industry na to eh. So 10 years pa lang tayo may cryptocurrency exchanges. So it will take a while before insurance companies learn how to cover yung mga ganitong incidents.
So meaning to say some part of the insurance are silent about this type of happening. So this can be a precedent. Ibig sabihin, what happened now can be a lesson to the industry. Tama ba, Nish? So if I
That's correct.
understand it,
That's correct. So
in the future, potentially an insurance company might think that may negosyo ko doon sa mga ganitong klase ng mga incident, and maybe just maybe an insurance company might offer exchanges like you yourselves in the future of some product that will suit this one. So ibig sabihin, pero as a management team, as the president, CEO, and as a whole, kayo sa PDAX, how do you classify this incident? This is sabi nga natin, this is not a fat finger incident, right? So how do you actually categorize it? Ano yung pagtanggap ninyo doon sa insidente na yan? Like,
sure.
yeah.
Tanong siya because obviously part ng requirement ni BSP is that you determine yung root cause ng incident, and obviously i-validate nila yan, etc. So dito sa scenario na to walang security breach, and it's really caused by yung system not being able to handle such an unusual activity. Now I think sa mga sa mga proficient sa software development, you'll also get to see na sometimes yung mga platforms that are super complex, very very complex, maraming components na nag-uusap, nag-iiba yung yung performance niya under different scenarios. I think a lot of exchanges, I mean, not to compare naman si PDAX kay Coinbase or kay Binance because they're very very big, maliit lang po si PDAX compared to them. But this regularly happens sa crypto industry na may problems that go into to scale. Kaya lang, I think ang pinagkaiba with PDAX is in our case, we have to be completely transparent then kay BSP and to our customers to the extent that we can kung ano talaga yung nangyari. And unfortunately, this is exactly what happened.
Sige,
I,
Nish.
I
Yeah.
have
Go
a
ahead.
question, Nichelle. Today, you mentioned already that essentially you investigated, you identified where the, for lack of a better term, where the malfunction was. So has that already been fixed? And after that is, since you did mention part of the issue here would be being a BSP registered institution, I am sure the BSP, once this got a lot of airplay, the BSP probably got in touch with you and asked, okay, can you explain and what steps have been taken to, as you mentioned earlier, prevent a repetition of this incident?
Yeah, thank you for that question for me. And you're on the first one, yes. So that this particular system issue has been resolved. Okay, so we actually resolved this during yung 36-hour outage. It's something that we tested to make sure na before we turn the exchange back on, it will not cause any other problems. Now with the BSP naman, I think to give them a lot of credit. They're very proactive as a regulator, especially pagdating sa consumer protection, right? So the moment that this happened and the moment na it's affected a lot of users, they already also reached out to us to inquire. Um, Now, I bring up the BSP all the time because yung reporting requirements ni BSP are also quite extensive. And I think yung one thing na we can really take comfort in is that because they supervise us, everything that we need to do has to be okay with them. Which is something na sometimes siguro easy to take for granted. If for example you're trading in an unlicensed exchange, sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's easier, sometimes mas maraming pwedeng gawin. Pero if something were to go wrong, we won't have the regulator overseeing the resolution.
Okay, Nish. Um, having said that, no, yung about sa BSP, speaking of, sabi mo very stringent yung inyong naging process with them too. Will you share a little what happened? Ano ba yung what's their take on this event? Yeah, yan. Yun yung magandang
Okay.
pag-usapan na ano yung sinabi did they reprimand you? Meron pinalo ba nila kayo sa puwet? Something like that. Diba?
So,
Yeah.
syempre yung process with the BSP, hindi ko na siya maidedetalye. Pero
Yeah.
I'll give you a very good idea of what happened. In fact, right before itong broadcast natin, ang kausap ko si BSP, right? Because they're okay, so may sige. I'll share a bit more detail because I feel it's important to share with the audience. So tatlo yung parang kailangan bantayan dito. No? Yung first is dapat hindi na maulit, right? In which case, yan yung root cause analysis and also figuring out exactly yung tamang resolution, etc. So that goes into the requirement to the BSP. The other is yung pag pag reconcile and then pag-investigate ng mga affected accounts para ma-unlock na sila. So that's something na nire-report namin kay BSP at least every day. And then, syempre, yung third is mga compensating controls. Ano pa yung pwedeng i-improve to make sure na this doesn't happen again? And syempre, because we report that, we submit that to the BSP, babantayan nila to make sure na we indeed fulfill all of these things. Yan.
There's an audit of some sort about that. Tama ba, Nish?
Yeah. So lahat ng licensed institutions, ino-audit yan ni BSP. So unfortunately, this thing happened. Pero I think it's also important na it happened to somebody like PDAX, because if it were to happen in a scenario, sana wag naman, to an institution that doesn't have a supervisor, mas mahirap siyang going accountable for what happened.
Yeah. I have a follow-up question to that, Michelle. So clearly, it's good that the central bank is being kept updated about the steps that PDAX is taking. Now, you did mention that one of the elements the central bank was looking into also is the number of blocked accounts and the process being done to essentially unlock those accounts. Did the central bank give you a timeline? Like, I'm sure the impacted account holders would like to be able to use their accounts as soon as possible. So is there a deadline from the Banco Central as to by when all of these need to be resolved and unlocked?
Right. So yung mga the BSP is aware of yung complexity involved with specific user accounts. So yung requirement ni BSP is not as doesn't go as far as dictating what companies need to do, no. Pero syempre it's something na they're monitoring to make sure na we unlock or reactivate as many of the affected user accounts as soon as possible. May ibang accounts kasi that are a little more difficult to unblock, particularly because we also have to reach out to the client.
Okay. Nish, may question lang ako kasi 'di ba, I believe si Terry's pa everything else held constant. Yung mga naka-block na accounts, these are the ones who were able to buy in the low price na based dun sa sinel nung kabilang side na walang laman. Tama?
Actually, yeah. So you're right, no? Pero not necessarily dun sa first order. Sometimes
yun nga. Kasi that's the question. Kasi Nish, may mga na-experience daw yung ibang traders na totally, they just cannot, hindi naman sila umorder particularly with PDAX, but they cannot log into their account. So parang this was like 2-3 users that I speak with. And yun nga yung gusto kong mas maintindihan. Paano ba ginawa ni PDAX dun sa locking ng mga accounts? Kasi yun nga, 'di ba sabi niyo sinagot natin kanina yung question ni Fermin, everything has been restored. So okay na. So stabilized na yung system ni PDAX. What's keeping you from unblocking them, especially yung mga hindi naman talaga involved dito sa incident na in that particular order that you mentioned?
Sure. So I'm actually quite surprised to hear that. So mamaya baka privately you can send me the specific users na hindi makapasok who walang activity at all sa exchange. But I think from our investigations, may mga account na madali silang mai-unlock kaagad, right? Because either isa lang yung affected trade or hindi naman sila ganun ka-active. So yung holdings nila hindi natamaan at all. Pero if the scenario is wala talaga silang ginawa pa sa PDAX and yet hindi sila makapasok, I think that's a bit surprising. Please
Clarify ko din, pero kasi these are new users eh. Sabi nila, parang they're telling me that, yeah, we did PDAX thing, parang we tried to buy, and then biglang nag-lock, and then we cannot enter into our accounts. Oo, something like that. That was until, nung time na nagba-broadcast kayo, mga early part of this week, na hindi raw sila makapasok. I don't know if that was resolved already. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. Pero yun nga, sabi ko, bakit, iniisip ko yun eh, bakit may mga accounts na nalock, lalo na mga bago na bibili pa lang sila, they were forbidden to I think baka ginawa niyo yun as preventive. You may want to share. Kasi may mga bagong accounts. So bagong accounts, tapos hindi kami makapasok. Something like that.
I have to I have to get back to you on that because to my maybe I also I'm not aware kung may ganung issue. Pero if there is, I wanna find out.
Sige.
Pero pag wala pa silang account and hindi sila makapasok or wala pa silang na nagagawa at all, that should not be the case. Yeah.
KYC pa lang sila. I mean, during the time, kasi ang verbatim sa akin, I'm trying to buy Bitcoin and trying to, kasi tinuturuan ko sila. These are some of my students. So, I'm trying to buy Bitcoin with PDAX. Pero, unluckily, inabutan kami na nalock yung mga accounts, hindi kami makapasok. Tapos pinakita niya yung mga screenshot. That was like early part of this week. So sabi ko, okay. So sabi ko, try na lang tayo ng iba. Total, wala ka namang investment dyan. Hindi ko pa naman naglalabas ng pera. So good thing for you, di ba, na wala ka namang nilabas. Pero yun nga, yun yung verbatim na hindi kami, inabutan kami nung locking, hindi kami makapasok. So I think, siguro baka your security guys, maybe, I may be wrong. So you can ask your guys. Maybe it's a preventive action that you did. Maybe you're not aware. Pero baka ginawa nila kasi syempre, when you saw that the big order is hindi naman project but hindi talaga filled, and then may mga bago, baka maka-order sila kasi nga something like that, no? You guys did the preventive something to not allow them, the new user.
I'll look into it. I'll look into it for sure, James.
Yes, sige.
Yeah, afterwards let me know.
Ayan. So, pero yun, yung next question ko doon, having said na okay na, what's again keeping them from being, aside from dun sa may mga kailangan pa ng reconciliation? Yun lang ba yun? They need to reconcile yung mga order books nila?
Yeah, that's right. So actually I can confirm this to the team, to at least to your listeners. Yung affected, maliit na portion na lang siya. Maliit na portion na lang siya. It's around 100. Okay. So relative to the initial size or even the user base, and we're in touch naman with them also. Yeah.
Good to hear that one, Nish. So, eto, siguro my next question is, after what happened, after sabi nyo, you're observing na a lot of things like precautionary, dapat hindi na siya mangyari. What changes is PDAX implementing right now to prevent a repetition of this incident? Naglagay na ba kayo ng mga like a circuit breaker of some sort? We would love to hear more about what precautions you took para alam din ng mga listeners natin what you did and what you are doing.
Sige.
Ika nga, di ba? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Sana dumating tayo doon. So I think we're in a good place naman, because even though there was a lot of strange activity that happened, yung wallet infrastructure ni PDAX also has certain controls in place, such as not being able to withdraw past a certain amount without mga manual approvals. So there's still a lot of controls there to make sure na PDAX doesn't hindi siya mag-go ng the way of other exchanges na bigla na lang nawala. Pero to answer your question, James, which I think is very, very important, how can we make sure that this doesn't happen again? Well, yung control that I was mentioning earlier, that one was uh, definitely scaled up to make sure na it can handle any type of uh, surge in the future. Yung we're also adding other controls, no, and sometimes people uh, might be encountering it na. We'll have price bands. So parang if yung order mo is sobrang layo from the market price, right? Let's say piso per Bitcoin. Hindi mo na siya may papasok. And it's also healthy for the system kasi uh, I think other exchanges in the past, pwede ka maglagay ng let's say piso per Bitcoin or $1 per Bitcoin. Ano siya, extra load siya on the system that's really not necessary. So we'll have price bands. And we'll also uh, uh, increase the team size. So, ngayon, anong kinalaman nun sa system, yung team size? Right now kasi, we're about 50 people lang, no? That includes engineers, customer support. So, because konti lang yung customer support, a lot of people felt na hindi sila nasasagot. And sasabihin ko na, like, to your community now, if you have an outstanding concern na hindi namin nasagot, I'm very sorry about that. It's just that ang daming nangyayari at the time and ang daming clients. But that's not an excuse, right? Kahit naman startup kami, dumadating na rin sa point na we really have to grow. And rest assured, we are growing. So we'll have more people in the team to make sure na we can support your trading activities in the future.
So hiring si PDAX right now. Let's
Opo,
say,
Sorry, James.
yes, coach.
Yep, alam ko mainit yung topic natin ngayon, right? Umiinit yung
Sige,
discussion natin, but I think it's time so we can check din yung ating comment section because there's a lot of people na gustong ng kasagutan din, right? But before anything else, let me acknowledge muna yung iba lang din na nasa session natin right now. Although yung iba natabunan, but si Rich Apuntar is also here. So welcome, Yo RT. So welcome, Denver Montemayor, Lefiol, Zap JL. And good evening, Aragay Maricel. Yan. Attorney Rafael Padilla is also watching. Yan.
Yeah.
Rolly, Alexander May Parada, David Santos, Lucas Pros, Michelle Cook. Okay, sino pa? Ayan, dami. Sige. So, Clear Arm, Tagilan, Marina Olivete. Yan. So anyway, ang dami. So hindi ko na makita yung iba nasa dulo. But let me get some of the questions muna dito sa comment section. Sige, the first one came from Yo RT. Sabi niya, when will you list more altcoins?
Okay. Commercial to.
Ayun yung tanong niya.
Yeah. So so tuloy pa rin kami with our plans, no. Ano ba yung plans ni PDAX to grow? Gusto namin maglagay ng mas maraming tokens. So that's one. And i-explain ko yung konti yung complexity behind adding new tokens. If yung token na yun is not if the token is not, for example, ERC20 or a blockchain that's easy to integrate, mahirap yung building of a separate wallet infrastructure to support new tokens. So ang ginagawa namin now, and we're definitely adding new tokens. It's just that for some of the ones na talagang most requested, yung rollout namin for new tokens might be a bit slow. Tapos po yung second na importante dyan is liquidity, right? To make sure na bago ka mag-list ng bagong token, that meron ng enough buyers and sellers. Otherwise, yung pricing mo will really fluctuate and it will just cause siguro more harm than good. So, but for sure, that's in our plans to add new tokens.
Yeah,
Alright.
speaking of that one, Nish, pwede ba magpa-follow up question ako dyan about the liquidity thing? Having said that, meron ba kayong mga liquidity providers like parang not necessarily in-house traders pero mga partners who will help you with such things like what you mentioned, the liquidity.
Yeah, yes. So I think ano no, so hindi siya ano in-house trading kasi uh it's not the place of the or it's not the role of the marketplace to trade sa kanyang marketplace, no. So merong institutions who actually place orders sa order book ni PDAX. Pero we don't see them as really anything other than clients then. Yeah.
Okay, Nish, thanks.
All right,
I,
Coach,
thank you,
meron ka.
Niche.
I have a question, Michelle. So clearly, the PDAX has received a lot of publicity over the last couple of days. Unfortunately, not very positive.
Yeah.
So, what is PDAX looking to do to basically move on and regain lost ground? Parang to show the market that we're moving on from this and we'll be back a bigger, better, and more vibrant institution.
Right. Yeah, marami nga. And to be honest, a lot of news made it internationally, which is a bit surprising considering na PDAX is really firmly just here sa Philippines. Um, Look, what happened, right? And it affected a lot of people, a lot of users. And right now we're obviously trying to scale things up. I think the only way na PDAX can regain the trust of the market is to do things like this, which is to speak to you guys, to speak to the users, and show everyone wala kaming tinatago, right? And we're very upfront with what happened, and also to just do a to just keep the system stable and performing well in the future. Trust naman is not it's not regained by at least in my view, no, it's not regained by a statement na I make or a statement that somebody makes. It's really earned, right, through very stable and trustworthy work, which we intend to do.
Sige,
Okay.
all right.
Baka may
Sige.
question pa, Coach,
Yeah,
sa
sige.
chat box.
Sige, tuloy ko na to, no? Hanggang 4 more. Pili
Sige
tayo
po.
ng ibang mga questions sa comment section natin. Sige, let me get the question came from, okay, sagutin natin tong kay Denver Montemayor. Sabi niya, if hindi po nag-exist yung Bitcoin, I don't know if nasagot na to ni Shell or yeah, feel free if you want to answer or not. Pero I'll put this right now. If hindi po nag-exist yung Bitcoin na nabili nung incident, paano po na-withdraw yung ibang users? May mga nakikita rin kaming post na nire-request ni PDAX ibalik yung pera. Paano po nangyari yun?
Sure. So magandang tanong 'yan, and I'm very happy to clarify. Yung exchange po na ginagamit for trading, hiwalay po siya na system from yung wallet infrastructure, which is handling yung mga deposit and withdrawals. So yung pondo po na ginagamit sa pag-withdraw, ano po 'yon? In effect inaabunuhan po 'yan ni PDAX. So, meron ka talagang mailalabas from that. And bakit siya kailangan abunuhan ni PDAX? Kasi po if hindi siya abunuhan ni PDAX, magiging mas matagal yung proseso. So, yun yung reason bakit merong nailabas. Magulo nga lang yung nangyari because yung trading platform was showing bitcoins that was actually not naman talaga wala naman po talaga sa wallets.
Okay. Coach Jonathan. Yan.
Sorry,
Nakamute
I'm
ka.
muted. Yeah. So sige,
Yan.
tuloy-tuloy na natin to. Let's get 3 more questions kasi
Yes.
we're almost time. Okay, para diretso tayo dun sa next part natin or sa part 2 natin. Sige, let me get the question came from... Okay, hanap tayo ng isa pa. Aha. Ito. This one came from Clearm Tangilian. Sorry if mali yung aking pronunciation, but ang tanong niya, Sir, may I ask what are the complicated transactions that need to be reconciled you are referring to? Because I never trade affected crypto during the glitch And how come nilock nyo po ang account ko? I can access it
Yan.
since February 16 up till
Yan,
now.
Nish. Yan yung sinasabi ko, Nish. Merong mga ganyan. Diba? Sabi ko sa'yo.
First of all, Clearm, I'm sorry na hindi ka ma-access. Please reach out to me later. So maybe maybe ka-clarify ko din now. Hindi naman po ng lahat ng naka-lock na accounts was related to this, no? May accounts na lock if, for example, maling input ng password for how many consecutive attempts. So yon, kailangan namin i-reverse lang sa or reset lang sa back end. So I noticed that this one happens quite often. Also, I'm not saying yung situation, but definitely please let me know your account details, and then we'll take a look at it. Clear.
Ayun.
All right, thank you Nichelle for asking that. Sige, last 2 questions tayo. Sige, the next one naman. Ito magandang tanong to. This one came from R.A. Perada. Okay, sabi niya, will this incident make more Filipinos doubtful in crypto? Good question. Right?
You know, and this is no joke ka. Alam mo, I started PDAX because I really believe in crypto. Kaya ako iniwan yung banking industry. It's not because gusto ko ng sakit ng katawan. I really believe in crypto. And I think situations like this remind us why even today, kailangan natin ng institutions who will follow the rules, institutions who will build platforms to help us trade. Pinag-isipan ko din itong mabuti. Parang, okay, yes, we're a small market, right? The Philippines is not the US. Maliit lang tayo na market. But it doesn't mean na we cannot have a reputable or institution grade na exchange to service the market. So I think, maybe in the short term, yung takot sa crypto might have been a bit worse. Pero I think after this situation, and this is what I hope happens, is that we see na crypto is not something na binibili mo sa kung san-san, right? Like, it's not something na magme-message ka sa Facebook ng nag-post na nagpapa-deposit ng pera and then tatangayin na from you, right? Crypto is something that's traded, mainstream, and this is something na you can trust.
Okay. Last question
Sige, last question na natin, no. But I think since we still have few more minutes pa naman, so I think after this, if meron pa tayong pwede
yes.
pull out ng question,
Meron
sige,
akong
tanungin natin.
tatanong kay Mitch mamaya after, Coach, nung last question mo na parang bago natin siya bitawan, no?
Sure.
Last Sige.
Sige, kunin ko tong question to. Maganda yung tanong niyo. Alright, sabi niya, this one came from Rich Alex Apuntar. Sabi niya, I don't know if this is already tackled earlier. What can PDAX do with these transactions since it is done and executed based on the terms and condition of PDAX?
Yeah.
Right. So syempre there's a big siguro question for a lot of users is yung terms and conditions, doesn't that say na hindi na siya na final na yung transaction, hindi na siya na-reverse? So this is something na we're working closely with a BSP and also some lawyers, because I'm not a lawyer, okay, so ayoko magaling here, but as of right now, everything na ginagawa ni PDAX is in accordance with yung duty namin as an exchange. So, hindi kami yung taga-benta ng Bitcoin or taga-bili ng Bitcoin. Ang fina-facilitate namin is yung transaction between the buyer and the seller. And in this case kasi, because hindi valid yung transaction, the appropriate thing to do would be to return the money to the buyer and then ibalik yung walang laman na position dun sa seller. So in short, if eto, gusto ko lang ito ipaliwanag. Guys, gusto talaga namin everyone becomes profitable as a trader and as an investor. So, if yung original order was funded, by all means, walang mangyayaring atrasan or whatever, please keep your gains. It just so happens na hindi siya naipondohan. So, walang sale.
All right,
Okay.
thank you Nichelle for that. Sige, I'm sure and I hope nasagot and na-enlighten yung ating mga viewers. No? But before tayo mag-proceed doon sa kasunod muna, no, let me acknowledge again yung mga bagong pasok pa lang. And by the way, feel free to post in the comment section muna taga saan ba yung mga viewers natin ngayong gabi para naman alam natin taga saan sila nanonood ngayong gabing ito. Yan. Sige, so feel free to post saan ba kayo nanonood ngayong gabing ito. Taga saan ba kayo from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao? Are you an OFW? Yan. So feel free to post that, share that in the comment section below. Alright, yan. O sige, James, I think meron kang
Okay.
follow-up question, right?
Ato, bago natin siguro pakawalan ng ating guest for tonight. By the way, I would like to honor and thank Michelle, no, for being a good sport for showing his colors here and with us dito sa atin sa natin sa broadcast natin. Yeah, before yun nabanggit mo kanina, there's that question about legality. Kasi di ba na natin, napag-usapan natin all throughout yung technicality, yung sa order books ninyo, bakit, di ba, na nag-abono kayo, etc. Now comes that question on the legal aspect of it, di ba? Sabi nga natin, this probably can help us as an industry shed some light, no? And guide us through itong experience ninyo can be a blessing in disguise, might be. I'm also not a lawyer, but hindi rin ako magaling sa legal. But yeah, sabi nga nila, there was this parang may legal glitch na that they can work on kasi nga the terms and condition is stated na hindi na fine na hindi mo na pwedeng i-reverse. Hindi mo na pwedeng i-revoke. Sabi mo that the BSP guys are working with you on that. Kaya lang since this is legal and binding, these terms and conditions, right? This is a sort of like your contract with your users. How do you plan to if not to hindi or the lack of better, how do you plan to manage that particular sa ngayon, how are you managing it?
Obviously, as binigay na natin yung disclaimers, hindi tayo pareho lawyers, but I'll try to provide more clarity there. So kasi whenever situations like this arise, we don't normally just so we look at the terms and conditions, right? And we also look at the law, and we also look at read the terms and conditions in accordance with yung legal framework in which it's written. So ano ba yung hindi pwede gawin ni PDAX? Okay? Maybe I'll start there. Ano yung hindi pwede gawin ni PDAX? Ang hindi pwede gawin ni PDAX is if valid yung transaction, meaning yung kontrata between the buyer and the seller is fulfilled. Nagkapalitan ng pera, nagkapalitan ng crypto. Yun yung hindi pwede i-reverse, right? Because we're just a trading platform and nag-facilitate kami ng legitimate na order. Pero because in this case, wala yung kumbaga binenta yung iPhone pero kahon lang, walang laman. Then our duty as a marketplace is to make sure na makapag-refund ka from or may reverse yung transaction. So I know yung terms and conditions are causing a lot of confusion, but we assure everybody na whatever is taking place right now, we're doing in lockstep with our regulators and also within the bounds of the law.
Okay. Thank you, Mitch. Any last word before you any last word for our viewers tonight? You would like to
sige.
share?
Well, unang-una I want to say thank you for this opportunity, and every time na I get invited to speak and clarify to trading communities, I take it, right? Because I think it's important to talk about this issue openly, as open as possible. Wala naman tayong lahat naman tayo, we just want the market to succeed, and that's been very helpful, and we're happy to be here. Siguro yung second thing that I want to say is I understand na ang daming hindi nakapag-trade, right? Or hindi nasagot yung inquiries, and because crypto is so new, nakaka-panic, right? Kapag hindi ka na sinasagot ng exchange. And I apologize for that grief. And yung last na lang is I wanna express my optimism for yung industry as a whole, right? If this happened like maybe 3 years ago, ganyan, maybe nobody would care because ang liit-liit ng attention sa crypto. Pero now, hindi. It's a mainstream activity. Crypto trading is mainstream. And ang commitment ni PDAX is we will be here to support Filipinos everywhere as this industry moves forward.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Nishal Gaba, President and CEO of PDAX. Maraming salamat, sir.
Maraming
Alright.
salamat.
Thank you,
Until
Nichelle.
next time.
Thank you, Nichelle.
Ayan, sige. So once again, maraming salamat sa ating guest speaker ngayong gabi kay Nichelle of PDAX. And of course, we're not done yet, by the way. Acknowledge
Yes.
ko lang muna yung ating mga viewers na nanonood, yung mga sumama or kakapasok pa lang, di ba? We have David Santos, sino pa? Robert Clarino from Cavite, Junax, okay, from Qatar, okay, Melay Martinez, okay, from Trece Martires, sino pa? Si Saringa from Cebu, Kuya JP from Hong Kong. So welcome. Ronald Aldesa from Parañaque, Paul Eric Vito, Jakarta, Jaime, yan, from Pampanga. Ayan, ang dami, di ba? Tsaka doon sa mga hindi pa nabanggit, so welcome sa inyo lahat. Sobrang dami. And of course, doon sa mga hindi nasagot na question, nakita nyo naman, ang dami nagtatanong, and we have, hindi ganun kahaba yung time namin to answer those questions. But
we will try to get back on them, Coach, on the comment section. Maybe we can also ask Nichelle to check it out and answer it if kaya. So, yan yung that's what we commit to you guys. Pero sorry if we have that short time that we have right now, hindi namin masagot lahat. Sa susunod, habaan natin. Di ba? Ganyan. Anyway, Coach, sige.
Let me just announce lang yung top 5 winners nung 3,000 peso worth of Bitcoin sponsored by PDAX. Ako sa akin lang, the moment na they want to to have more publicity, like yung pinapaluguran nila, or ang tawag nga doon sa English, they are showing doon sa mga ganitong klaseng session, it only means that they want to they hear. Kaya gusto nila iset, gusto nila maging transparent doon sa mga viewers. Okay, of course, things happen like, in fact, meron pa nga ako nakitang news yung sa, I think that was from Kraken. It also happened with their platform. However, again, syempre hindi naman natin inaasahan. May mga exchange pa nga nagsasara. In fact, there's a lot of exchange recently na talaga hindi na kinaya, di ba? Like yung Livecoin, medyo nagkaroon ng issue, di ba? Yung Cryptopia. And of course, eventually, if you're in the crypto market, hindi naman pwede rin lagay mo yung pera mo sa isang basket. May nag-comment noon kanina sa comment section, di ba? So don't put everything in one basket. Now, let me just announce lang muna yung top 5 winners. So the first one is si Yo RT. Okay. Second is si Denver Montemayor. Third ay si Clee Arm Tangilan. Fourth is si R.A. Perada. And fifth, si Rich Alex Apuntar. So lahat kayo, nanalo kayo ng 3,000 peso worth of Bitcoin from PDAX. So hintayin nyo na lang yung message ni PDAX sa inyo. So they'll send you a message, private message. So abangan nyo na lang yung kanilang PM. Alright? Sige. So Fermin, ikaw, what have you learned doon sa ating session? Of course, James.
Fermin muna.
Sige.
Let's hear it from him.
Well, I think, one, it's clear that regardless of how secure or how thorough you might think your systems are, there will be occasions that you may not have anticipated and the system will fail. I think here we've seen a good example of how the system didn't anticipate what happened, and as Nichelle pointed out, That's why they had to essentially take steps to prevent a repetition of this incident. But again, to be fair, it's good that they are doing this because there are probably other institutions that wouldn't do it or would not have the capacity to make the changes. And I think also we give credit to the central bank that they are proactive, as Nichelle mentioned, in terms of wanting to make sure that the situation is under control and that affected users are essentially brought back online as soon as possible.
Yeah. And yeah, as you mentioned kanina, no, it's kinda they're being taken cared of kasi kinakausap naman daw itong mga affected users. But yun nga, yun. Fermin, thank you for that commentary. Ako naman, what I actually see here, this actually is an opportunity. Sabi ko nga kanina, di ba? This is like a blessing in disguise to the industry because it can help provide clarity as we go along the way. Kasi sabi nga natin, this is a new industry that we're venturing into. So even the regulatory, well, the lack of better term, kinakapa din nila yung regulatory. So as we go along the way, such incidences help build our case. And for the para sa ikagaganda ng ating industriya. That's what I believe. So,
Agree.
and I would, yeah,
Agree.
salamat din sa mga kagaya ni Nish who actually try to make it work. Di ba? For the mass adoption. Sabi ko nga, we need more of the likes of PDAX happening for our country for also the benefit of our fellow Filipinos. Ayan.
True. Correct. And yun nga, ito lagi ko ring sinishare every time we have webinars, ganitong mga session na hindi naman porket malaki ang kita sa cryptocurrency, lahat ng savings mo, lalagay mo na rin dyan. Right? Importante pa rin yung proper risk management because we don't know, di ba? Hindi naman natin kontrolado yung ganitong mga platform. Even though malaki yung exchange, eventually things might, kumbaga yung mga hindi inaasang pangyari, pwede mangyari yan eventually. So at least if everything goes wrong, at least hindi naman lahat ng fund mo nawala, di ba? But again, try to study the market first. Kumbaga hindi pasok tayo ng pasok porket malaki yung kitaan, maganda yung industry. At first, importante, aralin natin yung foundation. Paano ba ginagawa? Ano ba yung mga ins and out? Okay? Kung saan ka pumasok, doon ka rin lalabas. Ika nga. Alright? Sabi ni David Santos, proper risk management. Okay? Para dun sa mga comment sa comment section, hindi na natin nasagot yung iba. In fact, natamba ka na because kailangan mag-leave ng ating guest speaker. But I believe they have a Telegram forum, no? They have a Telegram group then. So if you want to reach them out, so they have a PDAX community, okay, Telegram. So feel free to, to join the session. And if you have some questions, in addition doon sa mga kanina, so yeah, feel free to reach them out. All right.
In fact, to add to what you said, Coach Jonathan, we don't need to look far. Look at big exchanges like Coinbase, Binance. They also have situations or they have had incidents where when the market was getting overheated, kumbaga, nag-shut down o nagkaroon din ng system maintenance, di ba? So it's not an isolated incident and it does happen even to the bigger exchanges.
True.
Correct. Yeah.
By the way, for those of us watching, may nagtatanong kanina, sana merong ganitong laging live session. Anyway, every week po namin na itong gagawin, every Saturday at 7 p.m. So regular na po itong session natin. So, and the reason why we're doing it, it's because to educate, to give more information, valuable lessons, and of course, we also want to invite those people na nasa cryptocurrency space, blockchain space, industry. So you guys are welcome to join us. So kapag ka merong siguro mga importanteng topics, announcements in the future or news related na, that could educate our viewers and a lot of people. Kasi ang dami pa rin naman hindi nakakaalam ng crypto or blockchain. They might heard it, narinig lang nila to maybe sa balita, pero it doesn't mean they understand everything. So that's why part of our advocacy is to continuously educate our kababayan locally at saka yung mga nasa abroad din. So, and for those of you watching then, so if you know anyone, okay, di ba, in the future, na gusto nyong sabihin natin invite sa session, you can tag their names in the comment section below. So feel free to tag their names. Let's say meron kayong kilala na expert sa, let's say, sa creating of cryptocurrency, or maybe an expert when it comes to crypto investing or blockchain, or maybe a trader. I don't know. So tag their names in the comment section below. Who knows? Eventually, diba, pwede natin silang i-guess, and we can also learn from them during ng ating mga live sessions. Right, James? And by the
Yes.
way, this happened because, of course, not only from Museigen Training Academy, but of course through the help of the Resistance Trader. Ito yung maganda sa ano, no, sa ginagawa natin, because ang naalala mo yung sinabi mo, James, nung umpisa siguro, that was a month ago. January, di ba? This is the time, so we could, gather a lot of people who understand the market, this industry, na kung saan everyone could share their insights, their idea. Kasi the goal naman is, to give education. The goal naman is para mas marami matuto, right? So, thank you for making things happen, okay, di ba? Hindi nagsasawa si James kapag merong mga idea yan. Oh, sir, Fermin, di ba? Jonathan, eto, gawin natin to. Alright? Yeah.
Sige. And I thank you, Coach, also for having me here. And yeah, I think at
We have,
this point in
how about,
time,
we have, by the way, sorry, hindi ko nasasabihin kayo. Yung kasama ba natin ngayon? Gusto ba
Yeah.
mag-hi somehow?
yeah, maybe you
Alright.
can say hi to our audience.
We have a guest. Kanina pa siya nandito naka-hide lang. I don't know if he's here. Yan. Sige. Maybe
Hello.
nagmo-modern.
How are you?
Sly, yo, what's up? Kaway ka naman doon sa mga viewers natin, and I'm sure Sly, kilala niyo si Sly, right? And malaki na itulong sa atin ni Sly din, sa industry, sa crypto market, right?
Right now, I think he's busy with all of his mga projects with blockchain. Yeah.
True. All right, awesome. Okay, thank you, Sly, for that insight, and of course for sharing that idea, no? Kasi a lot of people, Filipinos right now, ang dami na nakakarinig ng cryptocurrency, di ba? And some sort of, kumbaga yung paano ba pumasok, it's easy. Pero what's next? Yun yung questionable for a lot of ating mga kasama, ating mga fellow countrymen. Right?
And yeah, Thank you, Sly, for that wonderful insight. So, Coach, ano na tayo? Market updates ba tayo? That's before we, yeah. I think for
Sure,
the
sige
last
James.
2 minutes, we have a market updates will be, si Sir Fermin was sharing a while ago before we get online about something, yung regarding dun sa last week's topic natin with Nigeria. He has this
Sure.
update. Yeah, maybe he can share with our viewers. Go
Perhaps,
ahead, Sir Fermin.
or if you'd like something closer to home,
Sige, sige.
where do I think the space is going? Well, I'm to those of you who may not yet have heard, Coinbase, which is the largest centralized exchange, has filed with the US SEC to list its shares on the market. So no definite date yet, but clearly I view the fact that they want to go to the market to list their shares as a positive sign, because what will that do? It will certainly increase the awareness of the cryptocurrency space. So they already filed with the SEC. However, they will not be doing an initial public offering. They will do what is called a direct public offering. They will go straight and list on the Nasdaq. They will be listed under the ticker symbol COIN, COIN. So you might wonder, what's a direct public offering? They're going to be listing existing shares. So nobody will be diluted. Somebody will be selling from existing shares. No new shares will be issued. What's interesting, the other interesting aspect about Coinbase is that they made direct reference to the fact that they are compliant with US regulations. They said it's difficult when other exchanges are not as compliant. And they actually made reference to Binance.
Best friend yung dalawa eh, no?
Saying na, well,
Binance.
exchanges like Binance which operate offshore do not have to have the same level of compliance. But at the end of the day, I think, as we've all said, the cryptocurrency space is still a relative baby compared to other asset classes, and developments will continue to happen. So that's it. I think that's a positive. Number two, MicroStrategy continues to buy Bitcoin. They just added another 1 billion in Bitcoin purchases a couple of days ago. So again, if you look at it from the perspective of institutions like MicroStrategy, which are not traders, so essentially these are what we would call the buy and hold type of investors. You will not buy something if you do not think that there is long-term potential. Yun lang.
Yeah,
True. Sige.
agree.
Sure,
Hey,
sure.
Coach.
Now, just to give a short market update lang, no? Again, hindi naman to by the way, this is not a financial advice. However, if you're going to look at the market right now, siguro I'll share some of the cryptocurrencies na all-time high na sila ngayon. Okay, like for example, yung recent one, it's Binance. Diba? Binance, umabot na siya ng almost $300 may get. I think
PNB.
pinagkukwentuhan lang natin nung nakaraan for me. Okay, almost magkano to? 300. Let me share, my screen lang din para makita, di ba?
Although nag-retrace siya.
Correct. Okay, screen 2. Ayun. Sige, Binance all-time high magkano? Okay, 300, almost 335, $337. Of course, syempre merong retracement naman talaga. Hindi naman yan tuloy-tuloy patas. If market is uptrend, it will create yung tinatawag na higher high and higher low, right? And of course, syempre aside from or kay Binance, even Cardano. Okay? Because yung kanyang last all-time high previous nung bull run, di ba? That's 1.127. Ngayon, nag $1.40 na siya. Right? So another all-time high kay Cardano. And of course, syempre, makakalimutan ba natin si Bitcoin? Bitcoin's all-time high magkano? Nag 58 plus. Yeah, almost $58,000 per Bitcoin. And currently, okay, ang market cap natin, okay, ay based from crypto total market cap trading view is $1.4 trillion. Okay, at ang ating Bitcoin's dominance 61%. So ibig sabihin, mataas pa rin yung dominance strength ni Bitcoin as of now, okay, at 61%. So madaling salita, lahat ng strength ng market, sorry, 60% ng strength ng market cap ay na kay Bitcoin. But let's see, eventually, ano kayo mangyayari dito? Okay? Papasok na ba tayo? Ito yung magandang tanong eh. Papasok na ba tayo doon sa altcoin bull run? Right? Kasi normally, pag nag-altcoin rally yan, normally bumababa yung dominance below 50%. Ngayon kasi nakikita natin puro decentralized finance. Right? Maganda yung topic mo, Fermin, nung nakaraan din, yung about DeFi doon sa community, right? Maybe you can also share sa ating mga viewers about, short background or maybe an educational information about DeFi. Is it something that, they could also check, study along the way?
Sure. If you look at the two more prominent websites would be CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. And as a testament to the growth of decentralized finance, both of those sites have already included a tab on decentralized finance. So you can look at those tabs, you will see what are the coins or tokens which are operating in the space, and you will find that there are truly, even within that space, there are many different segments. You could be in lending, you could be in derivatives, you could be in insurance. There are many elements to the space, and it will continue to grow. If you look at the total value locked in decentralized finance, it's essentially gone from 8 billion, that's B, billion with a B, 8 billion in around August or September, and now we're already over 45 billion and still growing. In fact, that's one of the main reasons why Binance has hit its all-time high, because they launched the Binance Smart Chain, which is capitalizing on a number of the decentralized finance applications.
So
All right.
para yung listing ng mga DeFi coins no ni Binance.
That's
Correct.
Like
true.
an index for DeFi coins.
Sabog yung market eh, no?
Galing.
Kita-kita yung lahat ng lahat ng decentralized finance token nag-shoot up.
Actually.
First Sly, more on ano to. Sly, how about NFT? Any update about
Yeah.
NFT? Alright. I think that it's going to be a good topic, no, na in the future pwede nating pag-usapan din sa session na to para magkaroon ng idea yung ibang mga listeners natin at saka yung mga bagong papasok pa lang sa space. Ano ba tong NFT na to? Ano ba tong mga DeFi na to?
I
Alright?
think to add to what Sly said, I think, well, an NFT means each token is unique. But I think we have to make a distinction between unique and valuable. All of them will be unique because that's the essence of an NFT. Each token is unique, but it doesn't mean that each token is going to find somebody willing to pay. If I go with Slice example, that doesn't mean that each NFT token will find somebody willing to pay X million dollars for it. Some of them may probably be worth $10. It's unique, but that's the value it will generate. So I guess the challenge there would be finding or getting the NFT which might be the next big thing. But I think
Or
just
siguro,
important for people to remember,
yeah.
all of
Siguro
them
to
are
add,
unique, but they're not all valuable.
yeah. For me siguro to add to that, no, maybe we can also look for kasi 'di ba most of these non-fungible tokens are tokenizing items like for example the arts.
Mhm.
Actually, if you will look at it, meron naman talagang value ang isang halimbawa painting or
True.
pottery or whatsoever. Ngayon, maybe pairing the right NFT with the correct community, 'di ba? Which boils down to that particular yung ano ko what I would like to share is it boils down to community management and acceptance
True.
that such para magkaroon ng value yung mga NFTs na alam natin, di ba? The
True.
NFTs that we know of, we need to pair them with the specific community who needs them. That way, meron na siyang sinasagot na problema gaya ng sinasabi ni Sly. Kasi sabi ni Sly, it's not answering to any problem as of the moment. But apparently, there are some niche market out there who are in need of niche solution like this non-fungible token we are talking about right now. Ayun. Yun lang.
That's true. I think it's because right now the more prominent examples or use cases for NFTs have been in gaming, right? I mean, Sly mentioned it, CryptoKitty, Decentraland. But you're right, there are other industries looking at the idea of using a non-fungible token to address counterfeiting. The luxury goods industry is looking into that. So clearly, yes, there are use cases which are developing, and as the universe of possible use cases expands, their NFTs will have their time to shine.
Also, Fermin, can we also give some update na rin about, I'm sure last time, di ba? Kasama sa hot, intriguing topic yung XRP. Di ba? So, any update? Ano bang, what's going on with XRP right now?
SEC.
It's still at the SEC, but they don't have any. I think the only thing that was clear of late was both XRP and the US SEC said no settlement before it goes to trial. And I think there was a lot of speculation before that maybe there will be a settlement similar to what happened with Bitfinex and Tether, diba? No such thing for XRP. And that's why it's still very volatile, diba? When there are rumors, it moves up. Negative rumors, it goes down. Very good for a trader. Certainly not as good for somebody who would be looking to buy and hold.
Alright. Sige, yan. Napahaba yung ating session ngayong gabi, no, James?
Exciting.
Exciting, right?
Maraming mga updates sa market, and we also have a very good guest a while ago. By the way, if Nish is listening or will be watching the replay, thank you again, Nish, for gracing us with your presence here. And of course, our good friend, si Sly. Yeah. Thank you guys. And
nabalitaan ko, parang hinar mo daw si Sly, 500,000 salary
500
per month?
Ano yan? 3 million yan. 3 million HTML coin. Million naman. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you
All
guys.
right,
It's
thank
been a
you. Maraming
wonderful,
salamat.
wonderful session. Salamat.
Okay,
Okay.
sige. So once
Have a
again,
good
para sa mga viewers natin, maraming salamat din sa inyo lahat. So again, stay tuned. Next week, magkakaroon ulit tayo ng another session. I'm sure marami na naman kayo matututunan. But i-advance ko na rin because on March 13, Saturday yun, di ba? 2 weeks from now, we have a special guest naman. It's actually an exchange and they'll be having a discover, in fact, that's Bing Bon. It's discover Bing Bon session. So for those of you who'd like to join, kasi maganda to because para dun sa mga mag-start na gusto matuto about leverage trading, maybe copy trading, this is a good topic because we've
Yeah.
invited one of their team members, okay, on Saturday, sorry, next week. So 2 weeks from now on March 13. So itag ko lang sa baba, lagay natin dito sa comment section yung registration link. Okay, if you want to attend that event, okay, feel free to register through that link below. Paano ba ipin natin to? Ipin natin to. Okay, pin natin. There you go. Yan, nakapin na siya sa comment section. So if you want to join the event, upcoming event, 2 weeks from now, March 13, we have a guest speaker from Bingbon and they will teach, share some sort of strategies, methods. And at the same time, maganda to kasi may prize pool tayo or sila. Okay, na more than $500 para
Wow.
na-allocate for that event. Okay, there will be a tournament right after the session. Plus, you're going to have a chance to win some coupons because there's an upcoming event right after that. So mamimili tayo ng mga winners na bibigyan natin ng coupon so they can attend yung masterclass session of that platform. All right? So again, nandiyan dyan na yan sa comment section below. So feel free to register to sign up. And if you have some question, concern, you can reach anyone from us, from Museigen, through info@museigen.io. Again, it's info@museigen.io. By the way, it's Museigen. It's not Museigen nor ano pa ba isa? Museigen or whatsoever. It's actually Museigen. Okay, yung pronunciation. Eh, marami nalilito dyan. Right? Yeah. So
Japanese coach. Para
yeah,
lang appreciation ng mga natin, listeners.
It's actually a Japanese word.
Okay.
Okay? Kasi nung kino-conceptualize namin yung Museigen. By the way, for those of you asking, para dun sa mga curious, ano ba yung Museigen Training Academy? So basically, we are an educational company. We teach people, lalo na yung mga first time palang papasok sa industry. Okay, to give them proper education about this technological advancement that we have. And aside from that, we're also partnered with different people, exchanges, and of course, na kung saan marunong mga experts sa industry. Okay? And who knows, eventually, magkakaroon din tayo. And you guys are welcome, to join our future sessions, live events. And as an organizer, okay, we are also helping companies. Okay, kagaya nitong mga to na meron tayo so that magkaroon sila ng exposure and makilala din sila sa industry. Okay? So that's it. I believe that's it for tonight. So once again, maraming salamat sa mga kasama natin ngayong gabi. Okay? The Resistance Trader, James, Sly. Good to see you again. Okay? Mamaya may session tayo. May session po ba? May mga tanong pa ako sa'yo. Alright? Kasi yung sinend mo last time na video. Alright? And of course, Fermin Barinechea. So Fermin, maraming salamat din. At sa mga viewers natin din na nanood, nakasama natin kanina. So thank you for watching. So looking forward to seeing you again next week. So stay safe everyone. Maraming salamat. Have a great weekend to all of you. So together, let us make things possible. See you soon
Happy
everyone.
weekend, guys.
Okay.
Happy weekend.
Have a good evening. Okay, bye.
Uy, wala na si Fermin.